from 0 to 200. The voice on the phone was my friend and fellow reporter, John Jaduga. He had an urgent request. I have to give an induction speech before a formal banquet. Can I join your Toastmasters Club right away? Of course. He joined, and the work began. His speech was to be given at a formal banquet of 200 people to induct his friend, famed race driver Wally Booth, into the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame. John's biggest hurdle. He had never given a speech in his life and had only a couple months to prepare. He prepared his 5 to 7 minute speech and was placed on our club agenda. His outline was good, but John needed some work. Knowing his urgent need, our club continued to work with him through his first manual, book him steadily on our agenda, and give him helpful evaluations. To give him a fresh perspective, another club put him on their agenda for one meeting. Everyone had jumped in to help. Remember to pause here, John. The audience will want to applaud. Slow your pace down just a little so your words are more clear. He worked hard on every suggestion and evaluation, steadily improving as he went. We also advised him to check out all the audio equipment at the banquet setting and gave him other helpful tips to perfect his presentation. And then he was off to the banquet. A few days after it was held, my phone rang again. It was John. Kay, I want to thank Toastmasters and you for all the help you gave me for my speech. We were glad to do it, John. And how did it go? It went perfectly, he said with joy in his voice. When I got there, I rehearsed with the microphone, and while I was waiting my turn to give my induction speech for Wally, I was so eager to give it that I could hardly wait for the speaker ahead of me to finish. Then he added, as I was speaking, the audience applauded where you all said they would, and laughed where you said they would. I also found them, we'll start from then he added.
Go ahead.
Then he added, as I was speaking, the audience applauded where you all said they would, and laughed where you said they would. I also saw them nodding their heads in agreement at different points I made. I was completely connected with that audience. And he had more good news. John shared that after the banquet, the president of the National Hot Rod Association approached him. I knew you were a great reporter for the National Dragster, John, but I didn't know you were such an excellent speaker. Coming from Tom Compton.
Pick it up from coming from.
Coming from Tom Compton, that was high praise indeed. To go from a person who had never given a speech in his life to giving his very first one before a formal audience of 200 people was a tremendous effort on his part. He had put his whole heart into this project because he knew how much it meant to Wally Booth, who had specifically requested that John do his induction. At our next meeting, John will give his icebreaker, the easiest part of our Toastmasters training. Knowing John, I'm sure he will work just as hard on this speech. Kay Presto, Distinguished Toastmaster, Ontario, California, USA.
Yay!